course, I am temporarily W8PRC. And let's go to Larry. What do you think, Larry? Have you been following the Saharan air layer dust storm? NB8Z W8PRC.
This is NB8Z, and I'll say hello to the couple people that are on here. I do the weather spotter stuff over on the Lyra repeaters when the time comes, but I haven't heard anything lately about this. I know I was in contact with my son because he said that he lives in New Orleans and they were supposed to get it, and it kind of missed them, and that was the last that I heard about it. So I can't get any information, but I heard the same thing about that. It's supposed to be some great pictures for sunsets, and I'm sure if it's thick enough, it probably refracts some of the signals. I don't know what frequency it'd do it at, but I would think it would have an effect on it. So I'll turn it back over to you, Hal. NB8Z.
Okay, very good. Well, Alex, you're next. KE8MQH. Go ahead.
Thank you. Good evening, everybody. A few people are here. Yeah, I would imagine that. No, I have not really followed the dust storm much in the last week or so since I first heard about it. But my grandparents, they have a place down there in Florida, but they've been up here in Ohio for about the last month or so. They vacation here over this summer, so they managed to escape that. No, I have not heard about it like the last week or so, but I would imagine that it would have a similar effect to rain at the super high frequency satellite type of communication. I would imagine it would affect microwave and above in the gigahertz range. I'm not sure what effect it would have on VHF or UHF, at least the lower part of UHF. So I would be curious, but no, I don't have much information as far as that goes. In other news, radio news, I tried to play a little bit of 10 meters earlier, and I made a 10-meter contact on a sideband out to Iowa. So I got an Iowa, my first Iowa contact. That's probably about my 15th contact on 10 meters. Could not work a Berea station. There was a guy over there, Jeff in Berea. He cannot hear me, but the guy in Iowa heard me okay. So I guess 10 meters is funny like that, as I've heard. I've only been on 10 meters for about 2 weeks now, if not even that much. So that's all I got to say for this go ahead. So I'll hand it back to W8PRC from KE8MQH.
Yeah, okay, Larry, very good. Or Alex, very good. Well, it is interesting that you couldn't be heard by the other station in Berea. But, you know, these bands are like that, and I don't know if the other station had a directional antenna or not, or if you have a directional antenna, but I do know that two directional antennas with their backsides looking at each other, that would reduce your signal considerably. But 10 meters is a really interesting band, and as every band is, but 10 meters is sometimes when there are openings, they're very surprising. Other times, you know, it goes on for days. It's almost predictable. And there have been times when 10 meters was open quite a bit every day. But with the solar cycle being the way it is, that's not the case currently. But we do have the openings, I know. One night I remember we had a net, well, we do have a net at 9 o'clock on Thursdays, and I heard somebody talking on the frequency that we normally use, and so I listened for a while and I realized I recognize the accent is from Australia. And sure enough, he was. And it was just a couple minutes before our net, maybe 5 minutes. And so I called him and got a nice signal report from him. I mean, nice meaning he could understand what I was saying. I guess it was like a 5 and 6. 5 minutes later, there was nothing on the frequency that you could hear coming in, and it was quite quiet except for our net. There was nothing going on, and that's just the way it goes. Well, regarding the dust storm, fortunately, I guess, we most of us have masks at hand, so should there be a dust storm whipping up, we're pretty much prepared for that, at least over our nose and mouth. But dust can get into the eyes too, and that's no fun. They say that the air quality alerts have been issued in all the locations where they felt that the storm was headed. And Puerto Rico saw probably the densest storm that they've had there in years. So it's always something. But the other thing is that they report that the dust storms actually occur every year. It's just that they're not always heading in our direction. So, and they seem to stir up every few days over the Sahara. So, little bit by little bit, Africa will be here. Okay, this is the Pomeradio Club TechNet, and my name is Sal. Let's see if we have any late check-ins for the net. W8PRC. Hearing none, let's talk field day. I wonder if either one of you fellows had an opportunity to work field day this year. Of course, we were disappointed that we couldn't do field day the way we normally do. So I operated from this station, from my home, and it was more fun than I thought it would be. So I wonder if you fellas were able to do any field day activity. And even, of course, the other thing that I could have done that I didn't is I could have made some field day contacts on this band, just not on a repeater. But I didn't think about that. Let's go back to Larry, NB8Z, W8PRC.
This is NB8Z. No, I didn't do field day. I was pretty close to doing field day. I got out of this for about 20 years, and a funny thing happened in April. My girlfriend's grandson, his family lives in North Carolina, wanted Spider-Man walkie-talkies for his birthday. So we got him the walkie-talkies, and I'm down there showing him and his sister how to use over and out and all that, so they're not talking all over each other. And I said, I got to get back into amateur radio. So I started setting things up, and I'm just not quite there yet. So I'm a CW operator at heart. Anyways, I'll turn it back over to Al, NBAC.
Okay, Alex, you pick it up.
Yes, thank you for that. Yeah, I got my license last July, probably just under a year ago. I think it was like the second or third week of July of last year. And I just got into 10 meters a couple of weeks ago. Got my antenna tuned up, the Thursday before field day there. And Sunday morning came around and I turned on my radio around 10:30 and I made a contact all the way to Maine. So, I don't know, that was my third ever HF contact on 10 meters also, and it was all the way to Maine. So, I thought that was pretty cool. And I work everything from Maine to Massachusetts, New Jersey, Rhode Island, Connecticut, Kansas, Long Island, New York, and South Carolina. They're on 10 meters on Sunday morning into the early afternoon. So I didn't go very hard on it. Just it was very casual. Here and there, if I heard a station calling CQ, I responded or at least tried. So it was about 50-50. I made contact or just probably got lost in the noise because I'm only running 30 amps here on upper sideband portion of 10 meters. So I'm still only a tech. So my band privileges are kind of limited to pretty much the first 500 kilohertz of 10 meters there for right now. But I managed to make quite a few distant contacts. But like I was saying, nothing local. I might have heard one Ohio station, but no, it was all distant. So I'm running what I would consider to be slightly an inverted V for 10 meters. Got tuned down to a low SWR of just 1.2 and went with that. And that's still what I worked to today. So it was fun. I'm liking 10 meters. It's a little bit more interesting than 2. So that was my first couple weeks introduction to HF, and I like it. It's fun to just call CQ and never know who's going to respond back. Try to work a station 800 miles away. It's great fun. So, especially when it opens up. And yeah, just a few days ago, I worked a station all the way over in Leamington, Ontario, here on just 2 meters with 20 watts on FM. So that was also kind of fun. It was on a Canada Day, so July 1st. So I just wanted to put that out there. Back to WHPRC and the group, I guess. Whoever's here from Kilo Echo 8, Mike Quebec Hotel.
Oh, very good, Alex. Real good. Yeah, well, regarding 10 meters, since you're new to that band, and I'm not sure if you're aware of the fact that there are beacons on 10 meters, as there are on many bands. There are beacons, and these are automated CW stations that run a string of basic information, where the repeater is located and the call sign and that kind of thing. And they're on 10 meters all around the country and all around the world. So one thing you can do is you can listen around that portion of the CW area, a portion down there where these beacons are, and you can tell whether or not there's a band opening and where it is. And that's kind of fun. And we have a beacon here in Parma that has been operating for many years on 28.263, I think it is, 28.263. And you can tune that in from time to time and see what, see if the band, well, first of all, make sure your antenna is working and so forth. And you'll hear that repeater, that beacon. But these are low power transmitters. I think it's 10 watts. And they have a specified elevation and so forth above ground. And they stay consistent to that. And they're, like I say, automated, so they operate 24/7. Just keep repeating their message over and over again. A little break in between, but it's pretty cool. It's a great idea, I think, because sometimes if you got multiple antennas and that kind of thing, and I disconnect my antennas, my HF antennas, when I'm finished, especially when the weather is a little unpredictable. I disconnect my antenna so that I don't attract any static electricity or worse, lightning unnecessarily. And so it's very easy to end up hooking the wrong antenna back up. And once you get a sense of how strong those signals normally should be on that beacon, that way it gives you some comfort that you've got the right antenna hooked up. Well, let's see if we have any other check-ins for our TechNet, and if not, I guess we'll, as they say on HF, tie the ribbons on it. This is W8PRC.
NHWS, in and out.
Oh, NHWS, in and out. Everything okay, Bill?
Yeah, except for the heat. I'm hiding from it. 7-3, guys. Have a great evening, NHWS.
Okay, very good, Bill. I was looking forward to getting your gardening report, but maybe next time. My garden's coming along pretty good. I just got my largest zucchini out of the garden today, and I've already got more than I can use, so I gave that to my neighbor. Anyway, nice to have you with us, Bill. You and Judy take care and stay cool. This is W8PRC. Any other check-ins? Well, I don't hear anybody, so why don't we just wrap it up? I want to say thanks again, Paulus, for being here tonight on the TechNet. And Bill, nice to have you and Larry and Alex. And I'll remind you that we have our regular Monday net every Monday here on this repeater, and that's at 9 o'clock. And then on 10 meters we have our net on Thursday at 9 o'clock. So. Well, the other thing that you can listen to on 10 meters, by the way, is there are FM repeaters that are spotted around the country, and I think I don't know how near they are, but there are FM repeaters, and one of the guys locally, in fact he's in Berea, has said in the past that sometimes he'll just leave his radio sitting on that frequency, and then he'll hear when the band is up, because that repeater comes on. Of course, that relies on the fact that somebody's using the repeater. But I guess maybe it does also have an ID. So there are things going on 10 meters. The problem is always on the bands that if people are not getting on and calling CQ or using the band, sometimes you can easily draw the assumption that the band's not open. and then turn away turn away from it, and not know that it really is open. Anyway, so I'll say thanks again to everybody for being here tonight, and look forward to our next time. Our next TechNet is on the 20th. Yeah, on the 20th, July 20th. That's a Monday at 7:30. Does anybody else have any closing comments before we wrap up the net? WAPRC.
Hey, Whiskey Golf, Whiskey Mobile.
Is 10-meter FM still usable? I know I heard you talk about the beacon. I have this, I can't even think of the name of the brand, but it was 10-meter AM with 10-meter FM on it, and I haven't even plugged it in to use it. It was sitting in a box for about 6 years, so if there's any activity, I may pull it out.
Well, I can't say that if there's any activity, because I don't know for sure, but the person that would know is Bob, who checks into our 10-meter net, and trying to think of Bob's call sign offhand. I kind of lost my paper here where I have some of the call signs down that we have frequently on the net. I should remember it offhand, but I don't. Anyway, Bob is in Berea, and he listens to 10 meters, so if you stop by the 10-meter net on Thursday, he'll probably be there and can answer your questions. But yeah, the FM portion is up higher than where our net meets. Don't remember the actual frequencies. And the CW portion is at the low end, around. Well, there's a segment where the beacons are, and the local beacon here is on 28263. So we had a check-in there that just got part of the call sign, WGW. This is WAPRC.
N8OX1.
I think I heard N8OXY. Who was the WGW? Sounded like he might have been mobile also. Well, N8OXY is it? This is WAPRC.
All right, very good. Well, if you got a beacon at 28263, you're down in the Ridian data section of 10 meter. I think you're talking about maybe 29263. That's up where the FM portion is at. 28.3 up to 29.7 is phone and image. So you probably mean 29263.
Well, let me check. I have my other radio on here. I'll look at it right now. No, it's 28263. 28.263 is the beacon, and it's going right now.
November 8th, Whiskey Sugar, Bill in New London.
He's back. Hey, Bill. Go ahead, ahead, Bill. NAWS, WAPRC. Don't know where Bill went, but thought he was going to shed some light on this for us. But anyway, yeah, I'm listening to it on 28.263, so tune that in. And it's on, obviously, CW. It's a CW beacon. Did you get that, Alex? Is anybody out there? N8OXY, are you still there? WAPRC.
I am, and yes, I have tuned it in, and it is there, and it's CW, so that would be in the correct part of the band. I know there's a bunch of, there are actually FM beacons that are in Texas and Florida, and I don't have their frequencies handy right now, but when you hear them, you know the band is up, at least maximum usable frequency, or I'm sorry, minimum usable frequency is at least up to 10 meters. So, yeah, handy to, although we're in an all-time low for sunspots right now, don't know when that's going to come back up to like it used to be in the 70s and 80s, but you never know. I guess it's handy to keep that frequency for some out-of-state beacons, so you know when the band is up.
Yeah, it is. What is your name?
Oh, the name here is Bill, Bravo, India, Lima, Lima. Call is November 8, Lima, X-Ray, Yankee.
Okay, I had your call incorrect also. N8LXY, very good. Okay, Bill, real good. And I thought Bill, N8WS was going to say something, but anyway, yeah, I was thinking about other kinds of things you can do to see whether or not the band is up. For one thing, you can listen to an online SDR radio, and depending on where that is, you can sometimes hear your own station. So that's kind of interesting. All kinds of ways to have fun with radio these days, right, Bill?
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Another good way would be to log on to Whisper and pick your band and look and see what's popping up around the globe as far as openings. Normally it's used by QRP folks, but it's a good way if you log in to at least see if there's openings to any particular location that you're interested in.
Yeah, very good. Well, thanks for being here tonight. And our topic, we were talking about the Saharan air layer dust storm that was moving into the United States and came in through the south and came up into the Ohio Valley. We were talking about that. That's pretty interesting. And it's a high flyer. It's like 6,500 feet to 14,000 feet and more. So it's up there. But it's supposed to be pretty spectacular, at least from the sunset standpoint at times, but it's also going to be cause some difficult breathing issues for some people. Anyway, I'll say thanks again for joining us tonight, and we'll wrap up the Pomeradio Club TechNet. Our next TechNet meeting is on the 20th at 7:30 on this frequency. And of course, we have our regular Monday net on this frequency next Monday at 9 o'clock. Rather, Tuesday at 9 o'clock. I'll get it right. Tuesday at 9 o'clock. And then we have our 10-meter net on Thursdays at 9 on 28.460. 73, everybody. WAPRC, this is KHCMD, signing clear.